Okay, at Vanderbilt, we base out of a 4-2-5, where we'll have 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. Of the 5 defensive backs, 2 are corners, and 3 are safeties, one of which will be a box safety for us that we call a star. This enables us to match up with substitution personnel groupings, 10 and 11 personnel type deals, where there's 1 back and 3 or 4 wide receivers in the game in man-to-man coverage. As you look at everything here, as you look at our coverage, we're going to stem out of a cover 2 shell. Our strong safety will declare to the field. Our star and our field corner will be married with the strong safety. Our free safety goes opposite of the declaration to the boundary, and he'll be married with our will and our boundary corner, and our Mike will be in the middle. The first 2 clips you'll see here of what we divide our formations up in cover 1 into 2x2s and 3x1s. A 2x2 being a balanced formation with 2 receivers on either side, and 3x1s being formations where there's 3 receivers to one side and a single receiver to the other. What you're going to look at on the first 2 clips are 2x2s. And in a 2x2, the corner will have the number 1 receiver to his side, the star will have the number 2 receiver to his side, and then the free safety will have number 2 weak, and our strong safety will be our numbers to numbers player, meaning his responsibility to be the center fielder, playing all deep routes in the post. Our 2 linebackers will play a 2-way on the remaining back. If the back steps to you, you've got man-to-man coverage on him. If the back steps away from you, you become the rat, the maze, or the low hole player. Let's look at this. As the route begins, our 2 inside players, our star and our free safety, will play what we term a city technique, trying to funnel the receivers back to the inside. All right, they'll try to funnel them back to their post or hole help right there. All right, the back steps to the left here, defensive left, but hasn't really declared himself. So the Will's in a position that he actually, just by body positioning, makes himself the maze player and does a pretty good job getting in the window of the throw. Our numbers to numbers player does a great job splitting the 2 vertical threats, and our corners do a real nice job playing press man-to-man on the perimeter right there. We try to go from defense to offense in a hurry. When we intercept the ball, we want to bring it back for a touchdown. Here's a look from the end zone, holding our 2 shell as best we can. Our star and our free safety play outside leverage on the slots, trying to funnel them back to the inside where their help is, to the hole in the post. We want to get a little more body presence from the free safety on the left of this diagram, but the strong safety on the right does a great job, the star on the right does a great job absorbing, catch, collision, and carrying the number 2 receiver. Good interception by the Will. Put the ball high and tight in the outside arm. Go score a touchdown. All right, we're in a 2x2 again. So again, the strong safety, if the ball is in the middle of the field, will declare the passing strength. He'll be married with a star in the field corner. The free safety goes away from passing strength, and he'll be married with the Will and the boundary corner. The Mike will be in the middle of the field. Because it's a 2x2, the free safety comes down, and he's got the number 2 receiver weak, man-to-man. All right? As you look at the weak side play right here, the safety's got the tight end man-to-man. He plays a little different technique because it's a tight end. He's on the outside pad, absorb, catch, collision, and carry. The corners are not playing press here, they're playing an off, and we're getting snag routes by the number 1 receivers. They've got to do a great job now diving on the snag route. The star does a poor job here because he collisions with the field corner, but it's his responsibility again to win to the corner cut from win to the outside by alignment technique, undercut or slice the corner cut, forcing a bracket back to the numbers player, who's our strong safety in this case. A look from the end zone shows that it's a 2x2. We show a 2 shell, as the strong safety and free safety have to do a good job working together. The strong safety works back to the middle. The free safety steps down in his coverage pattern, and we can do a little bit better job of that both on the corner and at the star position in this case. Now what you're looking at is a 3x1. When we get a 3x1, our corners are responsible for the number 1 receiver. The star again is responsible for the number 2 receiver. And the strong safety is responsible for the number 3 receiver, with the free safety spinning back to the middle to become the numbers player. Our Mike and our Will are responsible for a two-way on the single back. So as you see it here, the strong safety steps down over number 3, who's a tight end. He plays a little tighter technique right there. Win to the outside by a lineman technique. Funnel him back to the inside where your help is to the hole in the post. Our star dives on the route of the number 2 receiver right there. Our corners are playing press man on the perimeter. Glide, initially with your footwork. Arm bar, get an opposite-handed jam on the receiver. Get a wedge, get yourself into phase. Our free safety becomes our the numbers player. In this case, our Will has the back, and our Mike becomes the maze or the hole or the check down player. Force the quarterback into a scramble. Nice job. End zone look shows we're showing a cover 2 shell. Strong safety might need to get down just a scooch earlier to be able to cover the slam 3 route by the tight end right there. But he's in pretty good position, funnel him back to where his help is, again to the hole in the post. All right, here we got another example of a 3x1. Trying to show a 2 shell. The safeties need to do a better job of coordinating their disguise. As the strong safety walks down, the free safety's got to work back to the middle. We have to have an awareness of the identity of an offensive unit in 3x1 formations. Generally speaking, with single safety look, they'll look to the one-on-one side and throw combination routes to the field. So let's take a look. We're again pressing on the perimeter with the corners. Glide, armbar, elbow wedge, win your one-on-one battles. The star has number 2. He's going to absorb, catch, collision, and carry. Stay on the outside pad, funnel him back to the inside where your help is, to the post and the hole. And as the strong safety steps down number 3, as you look at this example, what I don't like here is he's getting a pivot route by the number 3 receiver. And as he gets the pivot, he ends up inside with his help to the hole to the inside, and we don't get a very good bracket on the number 3 receiver. I think the free safety does a good job spinning to the middle, getting his eyes back to the quarterback. We saw this on our individual drills where and he's looking at the quarterback's front shoulder, telling him he's throwing to the right, and the low shoulder level meaning he's throwing shallow. He's got to do the free safety's got to do a little better job with the angle of his break, not rounding in as much. Again, from an end zone look, you see that we're in 2 deep, showing 2 deep, walking down. Strong safety's on 3. Utilize your help to the hole in the post. We don't want 2 guys on the inside leverage on number 3. We want a little bracket on that guy. A hinge on the inside, hinge on the outside. Here's a good another look at a 3x1. So again, we're showing cover 2. Strong safety works down to cover the number 3 receiver. Really gets the same type of route, what we call a slam 3. So both the strong safety and the star diving on the outside release of number 2 right there, working to the upfield shoulder. Don't look back till you're close enough to touch the receiver. And when you are, if you can come underneath, get 2 hands on it. If not, hook and shoot. To the single receiver side, we're getting a slant. Corner's got a glide. Arm bar with the right arm. Put your face on the ball in the slant. The Will's got the back. The Mike becomes the maze or the hole player. The free safety spins to the middle as the numbers player, and our corner to the top is doing a pretty good job winning his one-on-one battle. Glide. Arm bar. Opposite-handed jam. Get yourself into wedge position. In phase, the ability to touch the hip of the receiver. One of the things we have to do a real good job of, we build our entire defense on the fact that we run to the ball as well as any team in the country and never-ending pressure. Safety's got to do a better job, as you can see, not just holding the 2 shell, but working together once the shell's been compromised. Work together. Once the strong safety starts to walk down, the free safety can start to work back to the middle. They need to work as a unit. They need to communicate with one another. All right, another example of a 3x1. So again, the strong safety declares to the right. The star in the field corner married with him. The free safety and boundary corner go opposite with the Will. The Mike's in the middle. Because it's a 3x1, the strong safety steps down and takes the number 3 receiver from what we term a city technique. Good disguise. I think the strong safety does a good job on his city technique, winning to the outside by alignment technique. I think our field corner and star do a great job on the double in patterns by 1 and 2. I think our boundary corner does a good job in bump and run man. They try to bull rush release him. So he gets a 2-handed jam, steers the bus, and then turns it into a single-handed jam, getting an arm bar on him. and turning it into a wedge. Our free safety, as you can see, does a decent job spinning in the middle as the quarterback starts to look to the boundary side right here, gets his eyes back, starts to rotate back, and he's in position to be a quality numbers-to-numbers player. All right, now this one starts out as a 2x2, so the free safety is down and motions to become a 3x1. We're holding the 2 shell. When it becomes a 3x1, our free safety spins 2 weak to the strong safety who covers 3 strong. And then he spins it back to the free safety who's got 2 weak right here. All right, so as you look at the whole equation, the whole deal right here, the corners have the number 1 receivers from a press position. All right, the free safety started to spin 2 weak. When he became 3 strong, the strong safety would have had him. The free safety would have been the numbers player. When he motioned back, the free safety takes him. He dives on the flat cut. The Mike and the Will are on a 2-way on the back. The Mike ends up taking him. The Will becomes the maze or the hole player. Our star dives on the route of number 2. Our free safety dives on the route of number 2. Our corner's got to do a little bit, our boundary corner has to do a little better job on the glide, arm bar, get a little arm bar on him with the left hand, and the elbow wedge. It ends up being a corner cut, so he can't get kind of in a stack position on him or we're going to give up a big play. Our center fielder is our strong safety. He's got to be our numbers player. As he's eyeballing the quarterback's front shoulder tells him he's throwing to the defensive left, and he's throwing deep. We got to get ourselves in position to make a play. Spin back right there. You know, from an alignment assignment point perspective, we're pretty sound. The boundary corner just needs to do a better job, to me, of playing the corner cut, and our strong safety's got to do a better job reading the indicators of the quarterback.